And great. All
Good job,
thank
Amber.
you. So yeah, thank you, Amber, for hitting record. So we'll start our December age-friendly meeting. So
This yes.
all right. So I'm glad we've
Well, I think she's setting up her calendar. She'll be.
yeah.
I never lose that.
Yeah, I said
Said
we
on the magnet, but you'll see it online. You'll see it on the screen. So,
yeah.
thank you for having me.
All right. I want to, we'll start the meeting now. And I do want to do introductions because we do have a new face or two or one or two around the table. And it's important because these meetings are recorded and some people might watch online and wonder who's on that age-friendly committee and I want to participate. So if they know one of us, they can reach out to us, right? So because I'm on the screen, I get to say I'm going to start first, right? So everybody hopefully knows me, Jane Danforth, Project Director for Thrive Penobscot. So I wear two hats here. I work for the hospital, but I'm also the chair of the Age Friendly Committee for the town of Millinocket. And so Amber, I'll have you go next.
Amber Wheaton, Community Initiatives Director, Town of Millinocket.
Thank you, Amber. And Brittany?
Brittany Gruder, Grants Coordinator for Thrive Penobscot.
Good. So I can see in the room, Robin, let's go with you.
Robin Stevens, Project Assistant for Thrive Penobscot. Michelle McGinnis, our Katahdin and Katahdin Collaborative Community Coordinator and Coordinator, Millinocket.
I'm John Cody here with the Millinocket Fire Department, Assistant Chief.
Very good.
Louis Pelletier, Town of Millinocket Counselor.
Tom Malcolm, Fire Chief, Town of Millinocket.
I'm Sarah Jandro, I'm AmeriCorps member working out of Millinocket Library as a project organizer for Age Friendly Millinocket.
Diana Furukawa, I'm the library director at Millinocket Memorial Library.
Nicole Brennan, the Partnerships and Programs Coordinator at Millinocket Memorial Library, and I also am involved with Age Friendly.
Thank you, Nicole. You're the only one that we couldn't see, but I could hear you. That's okay. At my vantage point here. So
It's our table can slowly getting closer.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You're an important part of the group.
Now you see me.
So I did send out the meeting agenda a week ago, and since then I had made one addition, and we're going to do that addition first thing, and it's the resource magnet. And so absent today actually is Barbara, but this was sort of her I don't want to say her baby or one of her ideas, and she was is not here today, but has commissioned us to move forward and to share the draft. And so I just saw Andrew come in.
Yes.
Andrew, we just did introductions, and sorry that we missed you.
Oh, no problem. I'm running like crazy today. Andrew Russo, Meals on Wheels Supervisor for Northern Penobscot County.
Very good. Thank you.
Jane,
So,
you want to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
oh, that would be great, Tom. Yeah, so I sent out the meeting minutes, and I'm hoping everybody had a chance to look at them and can let me know if there's any edits that need to be made, or they can be approved as it's presented.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Very good. So those, Tom is being more formal because there's it's a formal committee of the town and there's members of the committee here. So all in favor of accepting the meeting minutes as presented. So yes, thank you. I can see that. Anybody opposed? So we have our meeting minutes from our November 15th and meeting, and they are posted on the website as well. So we're going to move ahead to the resource magnet. And Amber, is it such that we can share the screen, or that I should be able to share my screen if I hit share screen and pull up something, right? Let me see if I'm going to share the right one. Is this the right one for me to be sharing now, Nicole?
That is, and yes, we know that Valley is missing an E. I have updated it, and it doesn't materially change it at all. It looks pretty much exactly the same, except KDHC is spelled correctly.
So we wanted to have discussion on this before it was finalized and sent to the printers. We have the opportunity to get 100 printed, I say for free at no cost. AARP is offering that to us. And so here is the most recent version. You have some paper copies in front of you, right? The folks in the room.
Yes.
And you had some, I know you had some discussion just a little bit earlier. Do you want to share any of that discussion, or how should we move forward with this, or changes, other changes besides the correction to the spelling to Valley?
I think there was some discussion about one of the non-emergency numbers that currently the way that the office itself is staffed, that it would just redirect to 911. My thought is that we keep the number. It goes to 911, which is, you know, where someone should be calling in an emergency. Apparently I'm optimistic, but I do hope at some point that will be staffed again. So.
Yeah, the only reason I point that out is that, you know, for non-emergency, you're not supposed to call 911 except in an emergency
Right.
situation. Our phones are both set up. My primary number, 5125, is the same as 9731. It automatically, it'll ring 4 times and dispatches to Penobscot. My understanding is 9731 does the same thing.
Mhm.
7026, whereas if you dial 7026, you're gonna get the fire station. If there's somebody there, if it's not, it's gonna go to my office. And you can leave a voicemail.
So
I
does
just
that,
want people to realize that, you know, that,
so does that work for you, Tom? So you're talking the fire number 723-7026. It's totally fine to leave that. It's non-emergency. If you're there, you pick up. If not, it goes to voicemail, and then you return the call if somebody leaves a
Correct.
message.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I keep that one, I keep that that way. That way, if somebody calls, although I've given out different ones for sand buckets and stuff. Still, if they call that number, they can leave me a message. I'll get right back to it. I'll get back to them when I get it.
Louis, you have some?
Yeah. Regarding that phone number, it's labeled as police. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, isn't there a dispatch number down at the police station in East Millinocket? That should be there.
I have their non-emergency number pulled up if you want it.
So is that a
They
746
usually
number?
East Millinocket one, Amber? Is that what
Yeah,
they-
746-3555.
Okay,
That's their non-emergency number for their office.
Well, shouldn't that be the number on?
so that's,
That should be the one we use.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's fine. I can change that.
Is
It
it
won't
746?
change the layout.
555.
The number.
That's always been, always been.
Yeah, because it's not staffed down there as far as I know. I went to go and just give some material to the chief. No
No,
one's there.
it's never staffed.
You can't open a door, you can't get into the building. You're like, you know, it's because they're busy working, right? They're out doing
Yeah,
their thing.
if
So,
that
you know,
non-emergency number at East Millinocket station is not staffed constantly, maybe we should be putting the chief's cell phone number, because that's the direction he gives. He says, you know, can't get a hold of the office, call me.
Alright.
So, you know, check with the chief and let's see. There should be a non-emergency police number, period.
right.
And whether it's his cell phone number or the dispatch at the office, whatever, we need a number.
Yeah.
Because we don't
So
want
that's,
to, we don't want to be sending stuff to the 911 that doesn't belong there.
Right,
Correct, there's enough of that now.
right.
Gotcha.
so I can follow up and check with the chief to find out if it's a 746 number that we should put at a 723-9731. And then we will use the one that we are told after speaking with him. So we can update that. All right. Anything else?
I like it. I like that it is broader and more regional than saying town of Millinocket numbers, because this is regional stuff and I think it'll touch more people in that way. So I appreciate those changes.
Well, it's regional stuff, but it's still age friendly Millinocket. Age
Yeah.
friendly Millinocket.
Yeah, and it has
Millinocket,
it has our logo on it, but I think it's great that it's
gotta
just
have-
broadened.
like,
Right,
you know.
yeah. Because people in
Right.
Millinocket use.
Yeah.
all
use all-
others, they
Access.
use.
Include the 3 towns, I mean, eventually gonna be. That way.
So do you feel good about me taking it off the screen that you've seen it?
Yes.
And we're just gonna check on the, so I will check with East Millinocket Police to see what phone number should go there, and then we can consider that one final. Very good. Thank you. So the other thing that that Barbara had started and she shared at our last meetings was the walking audit that she did of the Mitchell Trail. And her suggestion as a result of that was to update some of the signage there to include symbols that for wheelchair accessibility as well as like stroller. And she was able to secure a grant as well, $550 to help to pay for signage. And I'm going to screen share again if I can do this right. Wait a minute, screen share. And she's worked with Eamon Collinsworth. Okay, come on. We're working with the same design of the Mitchell Trail already, and just adding, you can see the these two new icons.
Mm.
So we wanted to get feedback from this group to see if yay, nay, you
Big
like
yay.
it. Yeah, a big yay. Great, because I know you went on one of the her walks with her and
Yeah.
helped inform this process. So thank you, Louis. So this is a formal action that I'll take to the council and show them this new design and the fact that it's not going to cost the town any money, and see if they'll graciously accept some new signs.
Great.
I think
It's
that
good.
looks, yeah, it stays with the look of the current original signage and updates it. So there's another, I say quick win. If you ask Barbara, it's taken forever. It's not that quick, but exciting. Yeah. So everybody, that's a big yay from the committee here. No concerns. Everybody's just happy with that.
Right.
So I will write up the necessary paperwork to present in January to the council, provide an order that we graciously accept the new signage, and
Great.
we'll move that forward. Yay. Good. That we'll make Barbara's Christmas, 2 items checked.
Check.
Yes, she asked me to
Check,
stay here.
yeah.
We'll wrap up the
Later.
magnets and slide
Yeah.
them under
Yeah.
the door. I'll be thrilled.
Yeah. Oh, great. So I'm going to turn it over. So next on the agenda, we have the Katahdin Snowdown. And I know we have a couple members. I've asked Robin to talk about this, and we have a couple members of with the Winterfest committee here that are planning this, but I've asked Robin to spearhead it for us.
Yep.
As it started out.
So right now I was, we've got it kind of scheduled on the Winterfest scheduled for the 19th of February. And anyways, I have a planning meeting scheduled for the 29th. It will be through Zoom, and I'm not sure if anybody here would be interested in being a part of that.
What time is it?
I think around 1.
Okay.
Just haven't sent it out, but I just kind of wanted to get like a little before January if we. Okay.
So you have some members around the table that said yes.
Yes,
I'll be
I
part of
will.
that.
Yep, Tom, Diana, Sarah, I don't know
Check
if
my
you
schedule,
want
yeah.
to, okay, yep,
I told Bailey and Dan, who are now helping with the gear library, about it, and they would love to be at that meeting. So
okay.
they'll
all
be
right,
there
I
on my
will
behalf.
send them, but yeah, I'll get their email if you can.
Yeah,
and
Of course.
that. And I want, if you want to, what is it, the AmeriCorps, I'm gonna have you guys decide whatever you want to do, if you want to do an activity.
Yeah.
You don't have to
we've
do this
discussed, yeah,
and
no.
freeze to death with your fingers, so, okay.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Barbara and I have talked about it,
Yeah.
and so we'll
Okay, good.
talk about it.
So for others that don't know, Snowdown was established through the Katahdin Snowdown was established through this committee. And it was actually the year that there wasn't a Winterfest. A week-long Winterfest activities, but because Winterfest resumed last year, post-COVID, right, and we're still in COVID, the Katahdin Snowdown ended up being one day of that total week event. And so this is going to be Sunday, like Robin had just said, the February 19th. It'll be a 3 or 4 hour event at the recreation complex. So we've got a great roadmap from the previous 2 years that we had done that, and we had got the original funding from an AARP challenge grant. So we have the easy ups, we have benches, we've got lots of equipment for an outdoor event like that. And I know Jody through the rec department, last year they just got that grant, so they've got lots of new skates and a skate sharpener, and so it'll be there'll be a lot more going on. So stay tuned. So that's really exciting down in our rec area. Okay,
we
so
got-
Robin, you go ahead.
And we got staffing through the council this year, through the budget we will staff the hut every
woman
day.
hut.
The warming hut will be staffed every day
That week.
that week,
Nice. So it just a
Nice.
week.
if we have ice.
Yeah.
That's the
If
next.
we have ice, oh yeah,
Snow
no.
down the first Sunday of the February vacation.
Going on, yeah, we kick it off and then the last weekend.
The
the
parade
last
will
of the
start
weekend.
Friday night, then there's some
Okay.
activities on Saturday, but the snow down will happen on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to think.
Is that the one you borrowed the fire pit for from?
Correct.
Cortez?
Yeah,
One day to have your own?
yeah, thank you, Michelle. That
Work on that.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to have one of our own. That's our goal someday.
That's your wish list. yeah.
yeah, so Lucy was part of the original planning committee, Michelle. So yeah. And so she helped us secure the wood and the fire pit and stuff. So yeah, you can join that little planning committee and we can let you.
would love you to do that
Well, she was my connection at Pelletier, so now I gotta go up and see who my
Oh.
connection is now.
That's right. That's right. So basically everybody around the table had played some role in that and made it a really successful event. And so, yeah, thank you. So that can move us right along into, we hope you said we have ice, right, Tom? So sand bucket program,
Hope
now that we
so.
have snow and ice, yeah,
Good segue.
yeah.
The sand bucket program is all ready to roll where I've got 28,
32.
32. We got 32 new buckets. I've been working with Brittany. She's doing me up a new label. I want to do something on them because what's happening is we're not getting the buckets back. And a lot of the people that have them have either moved or passed away, and nobody knows what happened to the buckets. So I'm trying to do is to redo them, so we'll have, and Brittany had sent me a thing. Do you have that, Jane? Do you have that to bring up?
Brittany might have it to bring up.
I can
Yeah,
bring
so
it
I
up.
remember last year we had over 50 buckets and I know Tractor Supply had donated them. Is that where they came from again this year? Did you get a new?
And again, this year, I went up and saw them and told them what had happened. And I said, I need like 30 buckets. And she said, you can have everything I have. She said, that's a well-worth program for us because
Oh, good.
it gets their name out. You know.
Right, right. So Brittany's creating this sticker that will go on this bucket. There you go.
Yeah, okay, she
Yeah.
put the bucket thing on it. Great.
Yeah, I sent it, so it used to have the Millinocket logo right here, but now I put the bucket number, which I think is actually really good, because then another thing for people just to check to see that, someone's tracking this, so I shouldn't do it kind of thing.
Yeah, even if it
So
doesn't mean
start a
anything.
spreadsheet with who has it, what number.
Yeah, and we did number the buckets before, but as I've called around, I've located about 20 of my buckets, so.
Shouldn't have to chase them.
Yeah, so this will be a lot better. And I think a lot of people just didn't realize that, I mean, if their parent died or something, they moved, they just didn't realize it.
Are they all the same color?
They're all, red or white.
Probably got to repurpose for some other use.
Yeah, that's one,
Yeah, maybe didn't have a place to put them in the summertime. So I've ordered some stickers, some half sheet labels. So those will be in at the end of the week. So I think by next week we can print some of these up and get them to you, Tom, and can resume it. And we have a flyer if you wanted to put that out social media again. So thank you, Brittany.
Well, if that's all ready, then I think we take that and get it to our social media, and Amber, we'll start getting that
Do you
out.
have a
Amber.
flyer ready to go?
We have one that we used last year, so yeah. I
Can you
can-
send me that flyer? So the newsletter will come out at the end of the week and I'd like to get that into the newsletter.
Okay, yep. Can do that.
Because I've got,
Alright.
I think it's like 20. I'd have to look at I should have looked at my list before I came. I think that there are 20 out there that we know of right now. And John and I went around the other day and filled some of those for people. And the other ones that I've contacted are gonna call me when they need sand, but
We need some more.
so we're actually up and running right now, but I'm trying not to put out any new buckets till we get signage on it.
And the sand pile is there for community members to go get their own. And I think it said that I'll have to revisit the flyer that we created. So I think people can go get their own sand if
Yep.
they're able to. Yeah. Good. No, this is another great program, and you hear about a lot of other age-friendly communities and committees across the state have similar programs. So yeah, it's very helpful. And like you had said, Tom, in the past, it gives you a chance to check on folks in their homes and at their homes and potentially see what other needs they might have, and
Yep.
just put a safety check. So. All right, so moving right along through our agenda, we didn't get, this was on the agenda for our last meeting in November, and we didn't get to it. We kind of said we'd do it this time. And just as a recap, we're going to talk about our partnership with Penquist Transportation, which started with funding from the town. There was a $2,500 Maine Community Foundation grant that we received, and we have spent that down. Just recently, the town sent the remaining 500 out of the 2,500 to Penquist because people are using this resource. And also in this last month, Thrive Penobscot, I sent a $3,000 check. So in total, this pilot program has benefited the community. We've sent $5,500. Brittany's going to share some of the data. We've been working with Penquist, and we have data from May to September that shows the usage. I'll have to get the October, November, December, the last quarter, and we'll report on that in January or February. But what she has for data to share and compiled is just a good snapshot at the demographics and the uses of the program. So it's their general transportation. So it's the van, but we opened it up to the New Freedoms ride program where people can, I have my notes here. Yeah, people can make an appointment Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to go wherever they want to go in Penobscot or Piscataquis County. The only qualification is they need is the self-declared disability. So I'll stop talking and let Brittany share her screen.
Yeah, so, oh gosh. Can't use it as a touchscreen. Okay. So I'm going to go down to this last paragraph here. Since the town had sent money in May, like Jane had said, there have been 713 one-way trips because it's counted by one-way trip, so to and back. And it benefits Millinocket, East Millinocket, and Medway. 290 of these trips were for clients who were age 65 plus, and 64 of those trips were actually for clients over 80, and half of the clients have been female. A lot of these programs are used majority by female clients. So in the last however many months, the majority of the trips have actually been largely medical, whether it's been a methadone clinic or regular medical appointments, and then also shopping, which is like grocery store type of trips. And the methadone, so the methadone clinic trips are, it's actually one individual who's using this service and to be able to receive that. So if we looked at it by percentage, like I said, it's majority the clinic visits, medical trips, and then just regular shopping. The other are trips like going to the dentist or the bank or post office, just other trips that don't really fit into a specific category. But it's benefiting people of all ages. As we saw, less than half are actually older adults in our community. So it is benefiting everyone, which is great.
Brittany, I have a question about that. Is that because they only use this funding if other sources were not available to cover their ride first? So it would target more of a younger audience, maybe that doesn't qualify, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, this is, so this funding, what I'm showing here is just for clients who are doing the self-declared disability.
Okay. And do you know how many individuals used it or just the total number of rides?
So it's been 57 different clients
Okay.
since May. Yeah. Yep.
The May to September, so we don't have the most up to date, but May to September, yes.
Brittany, do we have a breakdown of communities that are using it?
Yes, we do.
Did they have that?
Yep. Yeah, we have that. And the majority of it is our riders from Millinocket, which I think is to be expected.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we can share that next time in this
Yeah.
just in this
Yeah.
brief presentation. You can take this down, Brittany, but yeah, we have a lot of like, I want to say the raw data or all the in Excel sheets and whatnot, and Brittany, and we put it together just to give a brief snapshot. And just, we wanted to let everybody know that I believe now, since we opened it up to the New Freedoms Grant, instead of just, we were familiar with this links flyer and just the fixed routes, and we opened it up, it's gotten a lot more use. And we haven't done any advertising other than initially in May, when I went to the different municipalities and met at the town offices and shared the information that we wanted to open it up to our citizens. And we haven't done any kind of mass communication around it. And it's being used, but yeah, so we need to take this information and figure out, do we want to find more funding for this to continue? Because we know transportation continues to be a concern and a need in the community. So we've got some good data to start.
And I think that data shows a lot of what we thought. We thought that about 50% of it would be medical issue, medical, and that's pretty close between the methadone and the medical appointments, so.
Yeah. So are there any other questions?
Hospital discharge.
Can't read. So you have what Brittany was showing on you, what was showing you, you have some paper copies of the information that we were, Robin had brought those. Yeah. So any other questions or discussion around that in particular for today?
I think we're making progress. That, it's been a long time that we've
Yeah.
been trying to do something with transportation. I think we're finally actually seeing some benefit to it, to what we've been counting for the last few years.
Yeah. And so how do you feel about us like looking for more money to continue this, to be able to make it free for our residents, to be able to use Penquist? Links,
Absolutely.
transportation,
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
There's a need.
I
yeah.
assume it'd be used more in the winter.
Yeah, winter time.
And I know on the side of Penquist, like they need drivers, like they lost a lot of drivers, and they're still always recruiting and need more help and drivers. And I think there are some times that they've had to turn people down when they've called for rides if they don't have drivers lined up. So, but they are a local resource, and I know through Mobilize Katahdin, that's one of the resources that we're linking folks to. So we'll continue to have foster our relationship with Penquist, and I'll have Tammy back at, sometime soon. And I think it'd be good for her to go over some of the data because, Brittany and I, we did have a conference call or a Zoom call with her, and so that we could understand and look at the data that she was sharing with us. But even in looking at it, we always have questions and she can easily answer. So in the new year, we'll bring her back again too.
And Jane, that doesn't show what rides were given from Mobilize Katahdin either, correct? So those rides
No.
on top of that.
Mhm.
That's what Sarah and I are just talking about, especially for like discharges from the hospital. I know I've called Mobilize Katahdin and they've helped us out a few times. I'm going to get people,
Right.
get them home, so.
Yeah.
That's a need.
Yeah. All right, so the only other thing that I have on the agenda, and then we can do some partner updates, is the fact that we did have our M- presentation to the town council on December 8th. So that did happen. I think a lot of important data were shared, and some things that probably people didn't realize about our community. And so I don't have our next M- meeting date from Larry and from the group. So I don't have that for us to put on our calendars, but I know our next steps are we do need to create that action plan. So that was an agreement that we have with the Maine Council on Aging, and the town. We'll create our action plan using that data that we all heard and know about, and continue this work. Does anybody else have any feedback? I'm not sure if anybody else listened to that particular meeting, or I know counselors did.
Yep.
I have a question, Jane, and I know I haven't been at the last couple of M- meetings, so apologies if this has been answered, but how different is this kind of plan from the action plan that we have, and can they be integrated in some way? I mean, it's more data that supports a lot of the things in our existing plan. So I just wondering where we might be able to save some time.
Mhm. I know all along through this process, we were trying to create we'll create some different actions from the M-. You're talking about our age-friendly action plan?
Yeah.
How are they different? I mean, that's a good question. I guess we're trying to be cognitive of that so that they are different, but I think we're going to end up just, what's the word? They're going to end up in our age-friendly plan anyway, when this M- project is done, because that's time limited, or time, it'll come to an end, but our work with our community won't. And so if you remember, some of the strategies we thought that we would try to figure out is how can we let our community members know, how can we get more enrolled into programs that benefit them, and that's not in our our action plan now. So here I am just stumbling and rambling along, and is there somebody else that can verbalize this a little bit better?
Well, I think that through the M-, it's actually showing us what we thought, but now we're gonna have the actual
The data.
data to prove that,
Mhm.
so that a lot of our plan that we're already doing through Age Friendly and through Mobilize Katahdin and stuff, it's just how do we work that all into together, and have the data to back it up, to say what we're doing is working.
Yeah, Louis.
Just the sharing of the M- system with all grant writers across, the people who collaborate and stakeholders in the community.
Yes.
Bound to get some feedback, and maybe we can get involved in some project that they are doing that, fits into our bailiwick here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Is-
thinking,
Because that really unveiled a lot of the housing data and the age of our housing stock. And the age of the citizens living in that old housing stock.
Well, and you see,
Yes.
with the deal we're doing with Penquist, and the new building they want to build, a lot of that data proved
Supports.
what we wanted, what we were trying to tell everybody. Penquist,
Yes,
you're looking at that too and saying, that you're absolutely right.
yeah. Yeah, we have the data, and Diana, we're probably going to back some of the data back into our plan that we have, that document, now that we have this rich data.
Right.
But I think it unveiled or, showed us some things that we hadn't put in our action plan.
I think it's also just telling us what specific population of that target audience, for lack of, pointed words, but it's showing where we need to start with the age-friendly plan also. And I think it's just further informing the type of marketing that we need to do in order to actually reach that audience. And I think what we decided that it's going to be older adults, older women that are living alone is where we need to start really in our community.
So where the need is.
Yeah, I think, nearly a year ago, I remember Jane saying when we first started the M-Dash meeting, she said, oh, this would have been great. Like 6 months ago. So when we wrote our action plan, we'd have all this, right? So I think that was your heart at that time to see that
Yeah.
integrated in some way. So it
Yeah.
just, the timing of it was
Exactly.
a little reversed.
That's
Yeah.
helpful what you added, Brittany, like it could help us prioritize those
Yeah.
actions and add to the list. I just trying to save us work wherever we can, because
Yeah.
I don't want to create another
Well,
Oh, no.
thing.
Action plan.
if I'm wrong, let me know, but my understanding was Larry said this did not have to be very detailed, like he was saying it could be like a page or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 No, yes, Diana,
Yes,
it's
what
not
you're
going to be
saying.
another.
It's
not gonna be
it's not
another.
Going to be another document.
Great.
Huge document. Yeah. It's going to be like 2 or 3 different strategies that we don't have in there. And I know Nicole's probably a little bit closer to it because we've been trying to work with her, like whether it's those Medicare, enrollment programs or something, just like at the library, just like to push those out more, or have the resource navigator help people with their Philip SNAP benefit forms and some of those things, and just like work closer with Penquist, their Eastern area, and getting people, more people to utilize Meals on Wheels or some of these programs that will help keep money in people's pockets if they'll utilize resources that are available and not feel stigmatized by using it and thinking it's for someone else. So no, it's going to be a page or two, Diane. There'll be a couple different strategies that we didn't include, but she talked about Tom, the false calls that the EMS responds to. And I know forever you've talked about, like home assessments and different things that you've always been interested in. So it can, there's the data to show the need, aside from you just saying there's a need, right? Yeah. So are there other, I'm just cognizant of the time. I know there's some folks here that actually have to go set up for movie night, right? Over at the school, one of our events. Are there some other things that we should share with the group today? Everybody good? So Bob, I want to welcome you as a new member of our age-friendly committee appointed by the town.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I had to get to a spot where I could pull over and do Zoom. I'm on the road again today.
You're on the road. No, I appreciate the effort, and I'll get you caught up at some point. Yeah.
Okay, I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll just have, next time
Yeah.
I'll have to pull over a little bit sooner.
Sooner, that's appreciate you joining us. So our next meeting date will be January 17th at 3 o'clock. So Nicole, is this the meeting spot still okay for the library
I believe so.
on that date?
Careful, quick. Yeah, I already have it set up.
You already have, yeah, we had talked about that. So great. All right, so just as follow-up, Robin's going to send out an email to folks that want to be part of the Katahdin Snowdown planning, because she's going to establish a meeting on the 29th for that. And we'll move forward with presenting an order for the town for them to look at that updated signage for the Mission Trail that Barbara did for us. And I will follow up. I'm just doing my, I'll follow up with Chief of Police around what phone number to have on the magnet so we can finalize that. So anything else? then I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Have a great rest of the year as we can reconvene in 2023, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for your
Thank you.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you.